This sink is filthy. And it sparkles like new.
When Wargaming is allowed to reuse assets, I think I'm also allowed to reuse jokes. And this time it is the Kame. Although, to be fair, the Kame is actually fairly unique. So, the earlier statement doesn't really make that much sense, but hey, come on, kitchen gun just works wonderfully for a tank, which has 5 rounds in its magazine. The thing is, the Kame is a new tier 9 Japanese premium medium tank. And its main gimmick is it has a 5-shot autoloader, which takes around 40 seconds to reload, can do 1650 damage because each shot does 330 in 6 seconds. That is incredible toxic. And Wargaming tried to balance this by giving the Kame the aim mechanic, the same one which the Type 71 has, the Type 63, the Japanese heavy tanks. And technically this one check TD, which I forgot the name of, which I thought was insane of the DPM, but then again you barely see it being played. Regardless, that thing has a 3.4 second cooldown delay after you've shot, meaning that if you just take it on average, you will need around 2 seconds additional time with aiming until you go back to your proper accuracy. Because if you don't do that, your accuracy is round about the one of a KD2 with 0.58. Meaning that this is Wargaming's try to, how should we say, disarm the toxicity of the Kame's 1650 clip potential in very short time at medium to long ranges. At close ranges you can still get completely deleted if you are the enemy. At longer ranges the Kame needs quite a lot longer time if he wants to be accurate to do that. And we'll see that in several clips which I will be showcasing to you in just a second. But before that, let's continue yapping about the Kame in general. So the gun is pretty bipolar, literally. Bang, 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 close range, very slow, long range. It also has around 40 seconds of reload time, giving it not the best DPM, we are talking around 2100, meaning you kind of need to take or pick and choose your fights. A Cobra, which has better armor and has better damage potential, but only has 4 rounds, actually most likely is better than the Kame. Even though both tanks are more or less forced to shoot premium rounds. Why so with the Kame? The Kame has APS standard with pretty lackluster 235mm of pen, and the premium is also AP with 280mm of penetration. So if you want to play this tank to perform, you are basically not forced, but there is no downside in not spamming gold because it's literally the same ammo type. That's always a little bit iffy if this is the case, but we can't really do much. The only thing which is different is that the premium round has slower shell velocity, so it's a little bit worse at range, but come on, man. It is what it is. The Kame is surprisingly decently speedy. It's around 55 kph, which feels okay. What is not really that okay is the accuracy on the move. That is also why you see me sometimes just standing sideways while aiming at the enemy. Although, in hindsight, I think during the reloads I could have turned my tank. You will see when we're talking about it. The armor, non-existent, and the camo is very mid. We'll see the armor in just a bit afterwards. So, you also have the gun depression with 7 degrees, which is... in the age of where everything feels like has 8 to 10 degrees of gun depression, 7 just feels lackluster. Again, everything the Kame is building upon is the ability to do bang, 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 kitchen gun, you are sparkling like new. And with that, I think it is a good time to jump into the clips. Ah, get it? Clips, because this is a clipper. Okay, shut up. In the first clip, we are on Erlenberg? No, it's not Erlenberg. I forgot the name. It is what it is. Let me know in the comment section below. Here I want to showcase to you the mobility and do a quick pre-up. Turbo, vents, stab is everything I always used in all the clips, so you don't need to worry about that. It's the same ammo loadout, 25 AP, 20 premium, 5 HE. Although HE is useless, you shouldn't worry about it. You will see we did get spotted in this cross. Once again showcasing a little bit that our, how do we say, our Kame is not the best. And focus new tank, we received 330 damage by a bad shot already. Did hit the roof, you will see later why that hurt so much. I'm like, you know what, let's do some limit testing, so we are pushing in. I will get a little bit punished here by the Ares. He hits us for 2 shots, doing around 211 damage. Well, around when it's precise. But for some reason, he's overpeaking again. And you can see now, that is what we can do. I've decided to just bang, bang, bang. It was close enough that the shells should hit, and they did. And now we are once again fully aimed, and because I need to hit this lower plate, I'm like, you know what, I want to wait. There you saw it. Sadly, it was not enough. The Scorpion received a kill, but we did 1400 damage. Pretty decent, and go into a reload. Next map, Nordscar. A fantastic map, and totally my favorite. In any case, I was just reloading with Intuition and AP clip, and it takes quite a long time, the premium AP clip, because the E95 was doing something. Once again, we get focused. Luckily, we did not get penetrated by Artie, and we were able to get a shot into the A phase 1. Sadly, we were not able to detrack him. And now you will see a really big misplay by me, because I wanted to do some limit testing, and also getting a little bit blocked, which you will notice by some certain mouse movements. You might also already seen on my stream. But hey, I saw the Ares was just shooting several rounds. I was hoping he was still too heated, but he wasn't, and with premium AP rounds, we are also bouncing his upper plate. And we did a solid 600 trade to 800. It doesn't mean that you cannot punish Ares tanks. I think this clip right here shows it perfectly. I'm an Andy, because I was just auto-aiming there, because I wasn't sure if I can shoot through that stuff properly. We hit the turret, unfortunately, but he is close enough, we can shoot on reload. And bang, he gone. 4 seconds. Well, not 4 seconds. 4.5 seconds, and he gone. Well, technically 6, but you get the point. In the next clip, and you will see several clips from this Dream Coast game, because it really well showcases what the tank can't do, and where the limits are. We are in a tier 10 game as a tier 9. Enemy has can opener, E5. We are fairly quick, so I want to abuse the quickness. If the Ares is pushing me, well, we are kind of shit out of luck. So I'm kind of limit testing here. I also reloaded AP rounds just in case if this Ares is coming, we have it easy to penetrate his cheeks. You can also see that I'm much faster than any of our teammates because they're also a little bit dented. In any case, Prosciutto, first 2 shots, bada bang, bada boom. E5 can open their misses. I try to do a dumb aim here, and now I can't shoot at anybody. I'm pulling back, we get the better accuracy. And here the can opener is still moving. I'm able to aim at his lower plate with the superior aim time, and we're waiting for it to go fully green, aka fully aimed in. We threw 1 more shot, sadly only 900 damage, but hey, pretty decent start to the early game. We weren't, how do we say, contested there, which is fantastic. Here, T49. Look, we don't have good armor. If the angles are acute enough, we can bounce some things, right? And now the T49 is completely in the open field. We were able to go fully accurate again, and now, because it's running, we can't. Yet it is still close enough. We are able to hit every single shot out of the 4 we did, right? And we got another juicy 1000, I think 300 damage in. So, how does it look when we actually have to snipe? Here was a little bit dented because I got spotted, which should tell me something. However, this is fully accurate. We get the D-track. This was without fully accuracy, and now you can see what happens at a distance. That is what happens at distance. You have to wait for so long for the gun to get accurate. So this is how Wargaming disables the toxicity. And because I was standing sideways, we got penetrated with HE by the Sheridan. Fantastic. You will see in just a bit what's up with that armor scheme. Hey, at least we did get our revenge in the T49. Overall, though, it's still a really, really good game. Like, don't get me wrong, you can see it here. It's 3,300 damage, and we still have 1 more clip of this game to show you. Why is there a rock Wargaming? Anyway, we were able to shoot more or less on the move the shit pack and kill him, and we still had enough hit points to go for this guy. I don't know how that one missed, but we were still able to get another shot in. And we get the SU 130 PM, finishing the game off with like 4k damage. Pretty decent, I would say. Speaking of poor pen, 235 just simply feels lackluster. And the main problem is it feels like Wargaming can't give it like 300mm of pen with the premium rounds and 250 with AP rounds. It would be very strong because AP of its normalization. But I just want to showcase to you the Ares 90C doesn't have the most insane hull armor, or Ares 90, but it's red. Diggy, it's red. We can't pen him. At least we were able to penetrate it at 257 and we got lucky with bounces and misses by the enemy, but yeah, we couldn't pen him. Another clip showcasing the pretty good mobility, and you need to abuse it. You need to be going left, right and center. You're faster than Cobra. Abuse the fact. And we were able to surprise these two people. You will also see a little bit of Raptor aim here. Yeah, well done, Raptor. Then again, we received one shot by them, and we were able to, if we would have been good at the game, he would have been dead. He was very fast with using his fuel tank repairs, but hey, 1500 damage for the first clip. We traded one shot, fantastic. We once went back in the round, but that's whatever. I don't want to showcase this last clip right here though. Yeah, the camo sucks, but being in a bush still is good enough. And the main problem is with this tank, because you have 5 rounds and a substantial reload of 40 seconds, it always feels like you're forced to really take your engagements when they are absolutely favorable to you. And this is why I'm basically selling out the youuuu 03 alt 3 here. He screwed up his shot and now he gets killed because he got spotted. I'm still waiting because I want this E50 to move up. And now I got spotted, so I had to shoot anyway. The E50 is moving up and the convoy is aiming there. Was a little bit very slow. My brain was like, wait a second, he's aiming at me. I don't want to risk it because it has the thick gun. But this hesitation here to go from one spot to the other allows me to get into accuracy mode again. Sadly not enough to get the E50 again because he drives fully forward, but he gets killed by the teammates. And I guess it was just too predictable. And yeah, solid 825 damage, and you can see we just got spotted now, meaning that the fella was actually a smart fella, not a fart smeller, as he was doing a blind. So, armor. I feel like that is very important to showcase now. It's 100mm. It's 200mm. It's 50mm with barely any armor from the tracks, and 40mm on the side. And 22, 35mm on the roof. As you can see, this tank only bounces things thanks to its bounciness of angles. That's it. You're not bouncing anything. And that's the thing. So you have to play this tank incredible safe. And the good thing is, because everything is out of bounds angles, meaning that if you're shooting AP or AP against a premium AP, it doesn't really change anything because everything is green regardless. It just also means you saw it with both HE rounds. You can get penetrated HE very easily. And as I shown in the beginning with the Ares doesn't really have a problem either to penetrate you. 70% chance on the turret, 85% chance on the turret cheeks because they're just 160. And yeah, armor-wise, you are definitely not gonna win anything. And that makes this tank fairly mid in that regard to play. If I go hold down, you can bounce some stuff, but again, do not rely on it. You cannot rely on it. And that is with an Ares. And as soon as you start premium rounds, you can see a lot of things get even greener again. So you basically, once again, only work with, yeah, bounce angles and nothing else. So please do not think about trying to bounce with this vehicle. It simply doesn't work. And with that, I think it is a good time to wrap this vehicle up. And I want to say I commend Wargaming for doing this tank and trying to not make it toxic, because it is definitely toxic. And I already know a friend which will adore this vehicle because it's an FV and Cobra enjoyer, you know. So he's definitely going to enjoy this tank. And it also kind of fills me with bittersweetness. I feel like this tank has such a good idea of how the Ares tanks could have been balanced for distance, right? I really like the concept of this tank. I just think with the introduction of the Ares and things like the Cobra existing, Wargaming probably should have gone to something like a free-shot autoloader. So you expose yourself less and have, how should we say, less direct impact to completely clip one of your enemies into the dead zone. 650 is again wild. But then again, you can't clip anybody. You know, at tier 9, you can't clip anybody. The Ares 85 has Ares 75 with hardening has 1700 hit points as far as I'm aware. You can't clip a tier 8 Ares. That is bonkers if you think about it. And the fun thing is, you only have 1650 hit points. You are very low with hit points on this tank. Meaning that you also kind of have to think, should I be using hardening maybe? Then again though, you saw the armor. This tank doesn't have armor. You can't really rely on it at all. So, I don't know. I feel like good players will definitely do very well in this vehicle. It is a tank which really, really shines. It has a really low skill ceiling, you know, skill floor. You can just go out, clip somebody for 600 damage, bang, you die. But you have also a very high skill ceiling. The floor is low, the ceiling is high. Because if you take your engagements as you want to, and you can live with the 40 seconds of reload, you have a potent gun. It's very accurate at distance. It is, if you want it to be, you have the insane clip potential, you have the decent mobility, and you have the ability to also play a little bit cooldown, you know? But then again, you also don't really have good camo. Like, we are talking 9% camo versus 15.7 compared to an Ares 85. But then again, you have better mobility, meaning that you're also going around a lot quicker than a Cobra. Needless to say, it is a bipolar tank. I'm still not happy that it's very toxic when it gets close to you. Then again, I feel like if Wargaming really wanted to have this toxicity with this tank, they tried to balance it as much as possibly by giving this tank the cooldown mechanic, which I commend them for. I really do like this cooldown mechanic. I think there's a really, really good twist on how to balance a clipping tank. I just feel like from my personal gameplay experience, the Buryan is just much better. Maybe it suits my gameplay better. You will see that later, at a later date, not today. The thing is, the Buryan just feels more conventional, and it kind of rewards good aiming and knowing when to peek, and it's just easier to do consistent damage in it. But with the Kame, you sometimes have really good games and sometimes really shitty games. And with that, I hope the video I can't speak anymore, I guess. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment section below what I should have done better with the video. I do hope you liked the mix of yapping, the clips, and a little bit of end yapping. My name is RagingRaptor. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the Buryan video.